Good morning, my dear students in grade 8. How are you today? I hope you are fine.
The school vision, to prepare creative, well-educated students who are able to establish civilized, aware, reserved society, stick to the authentic morals and values, in addition to using the modern technology.
Our lesson today, 2C Reading Walt Disney. Part 1. Open your students book, page 24. Objectives of our lesson today. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the best title for a text about Walt Disney, find specific information after reading a text about Walt Disney. Who said the quote in the circle below? Use the picture as a hint to help you. If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney. Look at the word in the circle below and try to come up with as many words or sentences as possible related to this topic. Walt Disney. A famous film producer, born in America. He was the voice of Mickey Mouse. He won more Academy Awards than anyone else. Pre-reading activity. What comes to mind when you hear the word Disney? What do you know about Walt Disney? Entertainment and enjoyment. What do you know about Walt Disney? A hard-working man. Now read the text quickly. Choose the best title for the text. Walt Disney, his early life, the man who never gave up, successful from the start, the father of Disneyland.
C. 1. Read.
Walt Disney is a name that almost everyone knows. But do they know his story? From a very young age, Walt Disney knew what he wanted, and he didn't listen to anyone who didn't agree with him. Things were not always easy, but he always followed his dreams. In
2C. 2C. 1. Read.
Walt Disney is a name that almost everyone knows. But do they know his story? From a very young age, Walt Disney knew what he wanted, and he didn't listen to anyone who didn't agree with him. Things were not always easy, but he always followed his dreams. In 1919, 18-year-old Disney left his hometown in Missouri and moved to Kansas City to work at an art studio and then at a film studio. Later, he started his own studio with his brother. It didn't do well, but Disney didn't give up. In 1923, he and his brother moved to Hollywood, where they started the Disney Brothers Studio. They made short films about a cartoon rabbit called Oswald. The films were successful, but another company stole their idea and took their artists. After this, Disney started again. He created a new cartoon character, Mickey Mouse. He made 2 short films about Mickey, but no one was interested in them. Then, he made a short Mickey Mouse film called Steamboat Willie, which changed everything. It was in black and white, and it was the first Disney cartoon that had sound. Up until then, all his films were silent. It was a huge success. Disney continued to create many more characters, such as Donald Duck, Goofy, and Pluto. His characters and his films were popular everywhere around the world. But Disney had even more ideas. He wanted to make a long animated film. Many people thought this was a terrible idea because these films had no real people in them. Disney didn't listen to them, and he was right. When he brought out his first film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, in 1937, everybody loved it. Disney had even greater dreams. He wanted a place where families could have a good time and see all his wonderful characters. So, in 1955, he created Disneyland, his first famous theme park in California, USA. Again, not many people thought it was a good idea. Of course, we now know that they were very wrong.
So what is the best title here? Is it His Early Life, The Man Who Never Gave Up, Successful from the Start, The Father of Disneyland? Perfect. The best title here is The Man Who Never Gave Up. While reading, Walt Disney was a creative man, true or false? Things were always easy to Walt Disney. The film Steamboat Willie was in black and white. In 1923, Disney and his brother moved to London, where they started the Disney Brothers Studio. Walt Disney was a creative man. It's true. Number 2, things were always easy to Walt Disney. False. Number 3, the film Steamboat Willie was in black and white. That's true. In 1923, Disney and his brother moved to London, where they started the Disney Brothers Studio. True. Now, students' book, page 24, exercise C. Now scan the text again, then read carefully and answer the questions. Where was Walt Disney's first job? What was the first successful character that Disney created? How was Steamboat Willie different from Disney's earlier cartoons? Why did some people think long animated films weren't a good idea? When did Disney's first long animated film come out? Who did Disney build Disneyland for? Now, read again carefully and answer the first question. Where was Walt Disney's first job? At an art studio. Perfect. Number 2, what was the first successful character that Disney created? A cartoon rabbit called Oswald. How was Steamboat Willie different from Disney earlier cartoons? It was the first Disney cartoon that had sound. Why did some people think long animated films weren't a good idea? Because they had no real people in them. When did Disney's first long animated film come out? In 1937. Who did Disney build Disneyland for? For families. Extra practice. What did you learn from Disney's life story? I learned that I should always try hard to make my dreams come true. Have you ever watched any Disney films? Which is your favorite one? Of course I have. My favorite one is Inside Out. Have you ever visited a Disney park? If yes, what did you think of it? I really enjoyed seeing all of my favorite Disney characters. What is the most famous cartoon character Walt Disney has created? Mickey Mouse. When did Walt Disney create the Disneyland park? in 1955 in California, USA. What did you learn from Disney's life story? I learned that I should always try hard to make my dreams come true and that I shouldn't give up. Have you ever watched any Disney films? Which is your favorite one and who is your favorite character? Of course, I have. My favorite is Inside Out. My favorite film character in this film is Joey, who wants to make sure that the girl in this film called really stays happy. Have you ever visited a Disney park? Yes, I have. I've been to Disney World in Florida and I really enjoyed seeing all of my favorite Disney characters. Or you can say, no, I haven't, but I hope to visit one of Disneyland's one day. No, I haven't, but I hope to visit one of Disney theme parks one day. Don't forget to review what you have done in this lesson. Make a study planner. See you in the next upcoming lesson. Good luck. Thank you and goodbye, my lovely students.